You think I should type praise be to Allah? That's from you, the President of the United States?
Yes, Allah.
As your press secretary, this puts me in a tough position, sir.
Don't worry about that, Caroline. Like I said to Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem right before I fired them, you're doing a terrific job.
Thank you, sir. I love you too.
On April 11th, 2026, Saturday Night Live premiered a cold open that was intended to be a comedy sketch.
All three of those were played by Ashley. It's an interesting detail. There are a lot of important things happening in the world right now, and I have to make some urgent phone calls.
James Austin Johnson portrayed Donald Trump as a frantic leader, making a series of phone calls to foreign officials, major political donors, and Republican governors, pleading for backing, issuing threats, and insisting on unwavering loyalty with a performance that projected panic and instability.
Hello?
Tiger, it's Donald. What's going on, buddy? Are you playing in the Masters this weekend?
No, sir. I flipped my car and got a DUI.
Oh, right. A Dewey. Dewey drive on pills? Yes, he do. Want to play some golf?
I'm actually at a rehab facility in Switzerland at the moment.
And how's the course there?
Oh, well, actually, there's no golf. You see, I don't know why this...
The audience laughed because it seemed like classic SNL exaggeration, taking Trump's public persona and pushing it just far enough to become ridiculous. But after April 15th, news coverage drew comparisons between the sketch and reports about Trump's recent outreach to political allies and international leaders, prompting many viewers to notice striking similarities.
What, Pete? It's President Trump. What's up? What's up?
I didn't know it was you. It just said unknown caller. So I figured I'd just answer and say a couple military secrets.
So what's the latest on that whole thing we're doing in Iran?
Iran is as obliterated as me every Saturday night, allegedly.
Really good. That's great. That one for sure hits with me.
Is it true what I heard? Are you actually negotiating with these herbs?
Don't worry about the negotiations. I just heard they're going really, really bad. All right, well, keep up the good work, Pete. And hey, if you think of a good reason why we went to war, could you let me know?
We did it off with a nookie.
What?
A nookie.
Suddenly, the sketch felt less like satire and more like a dramatization that had aired only days before comparable headlines appeared. Jimmy Kimmel introduced the topic by telling viewers he wanted to highlight what unfolded between April 11th and April 15th, suggesting the resemblance reflected a broader pattern rather than a simple coincidence.
Why does gas cost so much?
The Epstein file! Epstein was first domino. Bing, bang, bang, bing, bing, bang, bang, bang. War. You might remember me from such campaign promises as lower gas prices and no more wars. I love to make promises because a promise is just a lie that hasn't happened yet. You guys are going to love this one. The stock market is going in one direction. Down! You don't know you're broke as hell. As gas prices, which are very high because of war with Iran, which is where they make gas. I wish someone had told me that.
Kimmel argued that the comparison raised an interesting question. Had Trump's public style become so familiar that comedians no longer needed to exaggerate it? He first played a clip of James Austin Johnson's Trump pressuring a foreign leader to support a policy position. He then contrasted it with contemporary news reports describing Trump's contacts with several European leaders during trade discussions. The audience's laughter gradually faded as the similarities became more noticeable. For many viewers, the side-by-side comparison blurred the line between political satire and current events. If you remember when satire worked by stretching reality just enough to expose its absurdity, you could understand Kimmel's point. Once reality begins to resemble parody on its own, the joke can start to feel less entertaining and more unsettling. Kimmel continued by showing another scene in which the fictional Trump pressured a Republican donor for financial backing while implying political consequences. At first, the audience laughed because the exchange sounded deliberately over the top. He then transitioned to news coverage discussing reports that Trump had recently contacted several major Republican donors to encourage greater financial support. The contrast caused the room to grow noticeably quieter as viewers compared the fictional scene with the reporting. By then, the discussion was no longer centered on whether SNL had written a clever sketch. Instead, people were asking why the comedy routine appeared to echo stories that emerged only days later. Quick pause. If you haven't subscribed yet, take 2 seconds to hit the button. If you're already subscribed, thank you for helping this channel grow. Now, back to the story. Kimmel played one final clip from the April 11th cold open, this time showing Johnson's Trump pressuring a governor to publicly endorse him. Before the audience had much time to react, Kimmel shifted to additional news coverage, discussing reports of conversations between Trump and state officials that had attracted public attention. Whether every comparison was exact or not, the sequence reinforced the impression that the sketch closely mirrored Trump's widely reported political style. The cold open aired on April 11th, and over the following week, numerous headlines continued to focus on Trump's conversations with political allies, donors, and officials. Kimmel suggested this reflected a consistent pattern rather than a remarkable prediction by SNL. In his view, the writers did not need special access or insider information. They simply built their comedy around Trump's well-established public behavior. From there, the segment expanded beyond a single comedy sketch. Kimmel suggested that if a satirical program consistently resembles the political headlines that follow, it says as much about modern politics as it does about comedy. The issue, he implied, was not whether SNL had become unusually prophetic, but whether political behavior had become so predictable that satire required very little embellishment. Rather than explicitly stating that conclusion, Kimmel allowed viewers to compare the clips and draw their own opinions. The repeated similarities encouraged many audience members to reflect on how recognizable Trump's communication style had become. The April 11th cold open was built around patterns that had long been associated with Trump's public image: strong demands for loyalty, confrontational negotiations, and highly personal political disputes. According to Kimmel's commentary, those recurring themes made the sketch feel familiar because they echoed behavior that had already become part of the public conversation. By the end of the week, many viewers felt the sketch had become an unexpected companion piece to the news cycle. Whether that reflected coincidence, sharp political observation, or effective comedy was left for the audience to decide. Saturday Night Live once relied on exaggeration to expose political absurdity. Kimmel suggested today's environment sometimes requires much less creative stretching because the headlines already provide material that feels unbelievable. As he joked, James Austin Johnson doesn't necessarily need to invent new mannerisms. Sometimes it seems enough to watch the latest news and perform it with slightly more volume. Subscribe and join us as we continue examining the moments where political comedy and the news appear to intersect, looking for recurring patterns and the stories behind them.